Hello guys, this is Aryan Singh. I am senior data engineer and recently 2 weeks back I passed my AWS certified data engineer associate certification with very good marks. It was more than 800 and this certification I achieved in not more than a month of preparation. So how can you strategize or what was the strategy that I followed to pass this certification? Today I am going to share with you. So foremost, the first important thing is how much knowledge do you have currently in AWS? Are you a beginner or are you an intermediate or are you an expert? So if you are an expert in AWS, expert means you know all the basic services in depth. Then and if you would have passed solution architect associate exam, then I will say 2 weeks of prep will be required for you. If you are intermediate like me, I had just used few services like S3, Redshift, EC2, and EMR before preparing for this. So as I told, I am a data engineer. So these are the services that I have used earlier. So it took me 1 month of prep. And if you are just a beginner, AWS beginner, then you need like more than or at least 2 to 3 months of prep. So I'll just tell you the path that I followed and what are the courses that I took to achieve this certification. So since I am a data engineer, so I was knowing basic or even advanced of ETL. I know data warehousing. I have worked on various databases. I work on Snowflake, and there are many things are which you will be able to relate with this AWS services that are being asked in the examination. And I will also suggest you to do hands-on. So let me go through some of the topics that are very much required for this certification and what are the courses that I followed. So only platform that I used is Udemy. You just have to pay 500 or 450 rupees for a course, and you are going to get enough of information that is required to make you a AWS data engineer, and then consequently you will be going to achieve your certification. The major aim should be to gain the knowledge, and then do hands-on, and certification is the end result of it. So let me go through the Udemy course which I followed, and that was the only major course that I used to pass this certification. So I'll show you here. So this is the Udemy course that I took from Stephen, and he is kind of a pioneer in providing the AWS knowledge over Udemy. So this is Stephen Marek and Frank Kane. So these two are the guys who have built this course. I will go deep into it, but before that, let me tell you that you are seeing here it is showing 3399 since today is Sunday, which I'm recording. But mostly this course is of 479 if you search it in the incognito mode. Now, why this course I choose? So let me go through the topics that are very much required and that are only important for this. So since you are aiming for this certification, so I believe that you have the basic data and engineering fundamentals. So although this course is showing you 21 hour 54 minute, but if you are in intermediate stage of data engineering and you know few of the services of AWS, so I think it should not be more than 15 hours. You'll be able to complete this course, and try not to do it in a day. Just take at least a week time, go through the major services which I am gonna tell you. So data engineering fundamentals, you can skip 1 hour 24 minutes. Nothing is gonna come. They are not going to ask you anything related to like give me the output of this, or what is left join, what is inner join. I assume you know it, but only if you want to go anything into this topic, you can just go through data skew and data mesh. These are two things, and for your knowledge, data warehouse versus data lakes, right? Now, if I go to storage, so storage are those services in which AWS is providing many of the services like EBS, or you have backups. So this is for storing the data. I can tell you from storage, 75%, 70 to 75% of question will be AWS S3 on AWS S3. They are going to ask you replication. They are going to ask you like if you have object in like you have to save money for a client who is not accessing the services from who is not accessing the file for last 1 month. So in which of the tier you are gonna push the S3 file, whether it will be Glacier or deep archive or intermediate archival. So these are basically question, and you are not going to get very to the point question. It will be always a scenario based question. So from storage, I can say only S3, EBS, EFS. These are major services, and I'll request you to go through all the lectures, 2 hour 20 minutes. And the most important part is you have to do the hands-on. So this is the course which you will go through hands-on exercises. You have to create your own AWS management access and just put your credit card. You won't be charged if you are not putting a big file or any file over there. You are terminating the services after use. So that is the best thing. And database, again, this is very important. DynamoDB is kind of 40% of the question will be asked from if database from DynamoDB. What is its caching, accelerator, and what are the use cases where DynamoDB is used, its read and write capabilities. You have to decide like if you are going to use DynamoDB, or like if when are you going to prefer DynamoDB over RDS on in which of, so you will be having option where four of the databases you will be given like RDS, Aurora, Athena, DynamoDB, and you have to get the database which is optimized, very providing latency very, and in like it is giving you very optimized latency, and then you have to see the speed of the throughput. So all those things, input output capabilities, you have to think and then decide what is the database you are going to recommend to the client. Again, it will be a scenario based question again. So you have RDS, and then so everything Neptune for graphical databases, Redshift, very very important. So this, and you should also continue on doing the hands-on from this database services. Again, if I go to migration and transfer, yeah, so there'll be question which will be asked like a client is on using his own kind of on-premise center database, and then he wants to move to AWS. So what are the services you are going to recommend him? So this is from migration and transfer. Everything is important. Compute, I see if you are intermediate, you should know is EC2, and I think EC2 and Lambda. These I can say are the most important topics in compute, and only Lambda, if I can say you in overall exam that is there for this AWS certification of data engineering, 10% of the question is going to come from Lambda. Again, container, ECS, EKS required. Yes, you have to go through all and do some of the questions that are there in the practice exams as well. You'll be able to gain confidence and do some hands-on that are there for each of the topics. Again, analytics is a good, and they are going to ask a lot of things from here. The most important is AWS Glue, since it's their own service. Athena, yes, because you can query directly on S3. So I'll recommend to go through all the topics, and mostly the data streaming like Kinesis data stream, Firehouse. So they will ask you question, when are you going to use which streaming of services? How data stream is going to use coupled with Lambda or SQS or SNS, and those will be the scenario based question that will be asked from here. Again, and the application integration, SQS is the most important topic. Even which one or two question can be asked. Security, yes, because if you are data engineer, you have to know how can you securely design your data pipelines. So I can say here the most important topic is KMS, IAM rules. I assume you'll be knowing why Messi is being used like for PII and all. So these are all again important topics, and you have to deep dive into it to know and do some practice question, do the hands-on. Networking, again on Route 53 you should know, and CloudFront is also important topic. Other you can ignore. CloudWatch, most important. Cloud Trial, Config. These three services, if you'll know, you are gonna go through this AWS management and governance section. Machine learning, no, I'll not ask you to go through anything in the machine learning. One question may be there, but you can skip it. Again, from CLI CDK, there won't be more question, one or two question, but it's just for 36 minutes. You can go through code commit, code build, and then CDK, and that's it. They are going to provide you 65 questions also in this course, and this course is just of as I showed you in the incognito mode of 475. You can take it. The second course that I took, and that was very much helpful for me, was this practice question from the same author, or you can say content creator, who is Stephen, and he with Abhishek Singh has made this very good course. Again, it will be not more than 550 or 500. There are 4 practice sets, and if you go through each of them, suppose you are gonna get first time you are gonna get first test, like mine was first test I got 54%, second test it was like 63 or something, and again third I got just 48, fourth I got, it was good like 72. And again, like I went through all those topics which I thought I am missing. Did some hands-on on those topics, did hands-on, which I was lacking in above test. Again came back, and gave exam after 1 week, and then I got kind of, no, it was increased. I can say the marks was about, like I can just say the average was of the four, 70%. And again, there were few topics which I, so only topics which I was struggling was AWS Kinesis, Lambda, and then SQS. And like these were three topics, and then DynamoDB. For topic that I was kept on struggling, I went deep dive, I went through the AWS white papers as well. But you need not to go through white papers. I can say you can just go through this course, and if you are not able to get enough info from the course, then you can just search, like if you want to know about AWS Kinesis data stream, right? You can search over here, and then you are on the AWS documentation page. And this is how I was, getting knowledge of each of the topics that I was struggling. And I, at last, I can say, last, like after, I can say fourth attempt of these exercises, like one in the, so four practice sets here, and then one in the this major course of hands-on. So there is also one practice set in this course. So total five tests, and the last attempt my average was more than 90%. So then I felt, yeah, I am good to go. And I, due to lack of some revision, like earlier I put like 3 weeks, I scheduled the exam, and then I had to reschedule it, and total I took like 4 weeks and 2 days to pass it. So that's it, guys. Like I think I went through all the major topics that are required to pass this certification, and yeah, all the best. This is enough. Like total money, I can say, like you will, apart from certification, which is, if you have no earlier certification of AWS, then you will, I think, close to $150. And if you have any active certification, then you will get it in $75. And price of the courses, I can say, is 1K if you are going through whatever I told you, and 1 month is enough for your preparation. So all the best, and see you again. Thank you.